Choser Bereshit, Baruch Omer Ve'oser, Baruch Gozer Umekayim, Baruch Mirachem Al Haaretz, Baruch Mirachem Al Habriyot, Baruch Mishalem Sachar Tov Lireah, Baruch Adonai V'Kayam L'Netzach, Baruch Podeh U'Matzil, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Yachid Chehalami Melech Meshubach U'Mefa'ar Adei Ad Shemo HaGadol, Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Me'olam V'Tishbachot. We praise you, Adonai, sovereign, magnified with songs of praise. So this is a blessing that introduces a section which includes songs of praise. So let's go to page 85. And on the Hebrew side, we're going to start with line 9, and we're going to skip to line 11. And Piper will teach us in Hebrew today. So, Hashamayim. Can you say that word? Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
So that means the heavens, the skies. And this is, the song goes, Yismechu Hashamayim, let the heavens be glad, V'tagel ha'aretz, and let the earth rejoice, let the sea roar and everything within it. So it really connects us with everything. And it goes, Yismechu Hashamayim, and then you go, Hashamayim. So that's your part. You got it? You now learn some Hebrew. Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel ha'aretz. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Umelo. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel ha'aretz. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Umelo. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Yehiram hayam. Umelo. Page 87. In the middle of the page, on the Hebrew side, where we go to the single lines, and the corresponding English is, the Torah of Adonai is perfect, reviving the spirit. The decrees of God are sure, enlightening the simple, gladdening the heart, opening the eyes. So that's what we hope this will bring us: revived spirit, enlightenment, joy, and clear perception. Torah Adonai Tamima, Torah Adonai Tamima, Torah Adonai Tamima, Meshivat Nafesh, Edut Adonai, Nemana, Machkima Perti, Pikumei Adonai Shari, Pikudei Adonai Yesharim, Pikudei Adonai Yesharim, Nesamchei lev, Mitzvot Adonai bara, Neirat Einayim, Yirat Adonai Torah, Yirat Adonai Torah, Yirat Adonai Tehora, Omegat Mishpatei Adonai Emet Tzadku Yachdav Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Let's continue on page 88. In the middle of the page, some of these songs have teachings and lessons in them. This one does, right in the middle where it says, who's the person who really yearns for a full and complete life and wants to see a rich life? The answer of what that person should do is, you can see it on the left, on the English side in italics, keep your tongue from evil, your lips from speaking lies, shun evil, but that's not enough, and do good, seek peace, and pursue it. So that's this little teaching in a song. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim Ohev Yamin Lirotov Netzor Leshon Chamera Usfatecha Nidaber Mirma Sur Merav Aseto Vakei Shalom V'Rafehu. Back to the beginning. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim Ohev Yamin Lirotov. Page 94, a song for the Shabbat, the Sabbath day. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodol Adonai, u'zamer l'shimcha elyon, u'zamer l'shimcha elyon, lehayid ba'go kechasdecha, ve'minatecha ba'leilot, Alei asor ba'alei narem, alei higayon b'chinor, mizmor מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. Let's continue on page 100. Hebrew lesson word number 2 of the day. We've had Shamayim. Now we've got a word you may not even know was in Hebrew. Hallelujah. Seriously, it's a Hebrew word that has entered the English language or whatever. So we're in the middle of the page, Psalm 150, and look how it starts. Hallelujah. That's the chorus. So you're all ready. Hallelujah, 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 Bekodsho, hallelujah, hallelujah, Bekiyahuso, hallelujah, 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 Tikuratav, hallelujah, hallelujah, Kirov, hallelujah, 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 take a shofar, hallelujah, hallelujah, never been Kinor, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, betov umachol. Hallelujah, hallelujah, b'mini be'ugav. Hallelujah, 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 tzilei shama. Hallelujah, hallelujah, tzilei shua. Hallelujah, 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 Koran Shama Tehamelia, hallelujah, Koran Shama Tehamelia, hallelujah. Page 104. We sort of learned a new melody this one. This one's a new one for you, Esther.
Yeah.
So we'll just sort of do it, and it's catchable on page 104. Nishma kol chai tivarech et shimcha kochai, tivarech et shimcha, Adonai, Eloheinu, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai lai. Nishma kochai, tivarech et shimcha, Adonai, Eloheinu, Nishmat kochai, tivarech et shimcha, Adonai, Eloheinu, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai lai lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai 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 lai, Yain lai lai lai. Continue on 104, the last paragraph in English. Let's read it together. From Egypt you redeemed us, from the house of bondage you delivered us. In famine you nourished us, in prosperity you sustained us. You rescued us from the sword, protected us from pestilence, and saved us from severe and lingering disease. To this day your compassion has sustained us. Your kindness has not forsaken us. Never abandon us, Adonai our God. Page 105 in the middle. Shochen ad maharom v'kadosh shemo v'chaytu v'nitzayim b'nai v'shavim v'atehillah b'fi sharim titala u'divrei tzadikim titbarach ובלשון חסידים תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, ובמקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל. שכן חובת כל היצורים לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, להודות להלל, לשבח לפאר לרומם, להדר לברך להלל ולקלס, על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות, דוד בן ישי עבדך משיחך, ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו. כי לפני ברכות והודות מעתה ועד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני אל מלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלוהי העולמים. Praised are you, Adonai, sovereign of wonders, crowned with adoration, delighting in our songs and psalms, exalted ruler, eternal life of the universe. So this blessing that we just read concludes the section of the morning singing, Sukkei Zimra, that we started with a blessing and ended with a blessing. But we don't stop singing. Basically what we've done is we've warmed up. So now we can really keep singing. Page 108, a beautiful prayer psalm of thanks and joy for all the wonderful lights in the heavens that fill the universe. And this one is in 3 languages, Hebrew, English, and transliteration, which is the toughest of them all. But maybe it'll help a little. Adon al kol ha'ma'asim baruch u'mvarach befi kol neshama ha'gado v'shuvo u'marei odam da'at u'tmona so v'dimoto ha'mika'el chayot ha'kodesh v'nedar b'chavod al ha'merkabo Zechut u'mishor lifnei chiso chesed v'rachamim lifnei kvodo tovim me'orah shebara Eloheinu yitzaram keda'at v'bina u'chaskel koach u'gvura natan b'areh li'or moshlim b'kerev tevel V'leim zibum fikim noga na'ezibam b'chol ha'olam Semechim b'tzekam v'sasim b'voam Osim b'keim ha'ritzon kodam Pe'er v'chavonot lishmot tzava v'rina Malchuto kara l'shemesh ha'yizrach orana v'hikin surat havana sherbachno mimot kol tzeva marom tiferet u'gedula Serafim ve'ofanim ve'chayot ha'kodesh Va'el asher shavat mikol ha'ma'asim. Page 109. Let's read the top paragraph together in English. To God who completed the work of creation on the 7th day and ascended God's glorious throne. God robed the day of rest and beauty, calling Shabbat a delight. God ceased all God's labors on Shabbat. That is its distinction. The 7th day itself hymns its praise to God. A song for Shabbat. It is good to acclaim Adonai. Tiparach Moshe Shevach Maaseh Yadecha Val Me'orei Or She'asita Yifa'aru Chasecha. And we imagine not only singing here, but singing in the heavenly spheres where angels give one another permission to sing. So we're joining all of creation in this mystical vision of song and joy at the gift of creation. Page 110. Tiparach Turenu Malkeinu v'Gohalenu Borei Kedoshim. 3.5 lines from the top of the box. Kulam ahuvim, kulam berurim, kulam giborim. V'chulam osim be'ema uvira b'retzon konam. V'chulam potchim et pihem b'kedusha u'b'tahara, b'shira u'b'zimra, u'mevarchim u'meshabachim, u'mefaharim u'ma'aritzim, u'makdishim u'mamlichim. Eshem ha'el ha'melech, ha'gadol ha'gibor v'ha'nora, kadosh hu. V'chulam mekablim aleihem ol malchut shamayim zeh mizeh, v'notnim reshut zeh lazeh. V'hakdish li'otzram b'nachat ruach, v'safar ruach v'nima kedosha, kulam ke'echad olim ve'omrim be'yirah, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech ha'aretz kevodo. Ma'ufanim b'chayot ha'kodesh, ברעש גדול מן הסיב ומצרפים, לעומתם משבחים ואומרים, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. ואל ברוך נעימות תיתנו, למלך החי וקיים. זמירות יאמרו ותשפחות ישמיעו, כי הוא לבדו. פועל גבורות עושה חדשות, בעל מלחמות זורע צדקות, מצמיח ישועות, בורא רפואות. נורא תהילות אדוני נפלאות, המחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד, מעשה בראשית. כאמור לעושה אורים גדולים, כי לעולם חסדו. אור חדש עד ציון תגיל, נזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו, ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. Page 111 reminds us that there's much love in our lives. Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu, with great love you have loved us. Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu, 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 Ahava Ahavtanu, Ahava Ahavtanu. And let's continue at the box where it says, V'havienu l'shalom me'avakan fot ha'aretz, and bring us in peace from the four corners of the earth, which is also a stage direction. To take the four corners of our talit, which has these things on it, and to gather them together, and to wrap them around our fourth finger, and later on, when we were doing this silently to ourselves on the top of the prayer that mentions tzitzit, We actually, each time the word is tzitzit is said, we kiss the tzitzit. And we'll be talking about this later in the Torah portion too. So we bring together the four corners of the earth, all the different parts of ourselves, as we prepare to say the Shema on the next page, which talks about the unity of all in God's name. B'Avienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz v'tolichenu komeniyut le'artzeinu ki epa yeshut ata uvanu b'charta mikol amdilashon v'keratanu l'shimcha hagadol Serah b'nei lehodot lecha Yachecha u'yachecha be'ahava Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'amo Yisrael be'ahava Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol libacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol yadecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי בצווך היום על לבבך לבבך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשלחתך ובקרנך ובשעתם מאוד על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Adonai Elohechem ודור ודור הוא קיים ושמו קיים וכיסא נכון למלכותו ואמונתו לעד קיים. Page 113, the last four lines. Emet she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avoteinu, Malkeinu Melech Avoteinu, Avoteinu. Go'aleinu, Go'el Avoteinu, Yotzreinu Tzur Yeshuateinu, Podeinu Matzileinu, Me'olam Shemecha, Ein Elohim Zulatecha, Ezrat Avoteinu Atahu Me'olam. Let's continue with the Micha Mocha, page 114, and then we'll go into the Amidah B and following through 120. And since we don't have a binyan yet, we'll just continue the Amidah to ourselves. Tehillah le'elyon, Baruch u'mvorach, Moshe u'nei Yisrael, v'cha'anu shira, b'simcha rabba, v'yamru chulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nehora tehillah. שירה חדשה שפכו גאולים לשמך השפתיים, יחד כולם מודים המליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ובתחינו בך Yehuda Yisrael, Kohainu, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Kedash Yisrael, Baruch Adonai, Kadosh Yisrael. These are the times we make tough decisions. So we're one shy of a million.
Can the Torah count as?
Yeah, well, that's even counting the Torah.
Oh, gosh, okay.
So, but we have Astor here today who wants to lead the Torah service.
But can you talk to the microphone, please?
I can talk to the microphone. And that would be great. Sometimes by 11, that last person comes in to make the reading, and we're not quite there. So let's do a short interlude. And what shall we do for the short interlude? We don't need to wait any longer. We're ready to rock and roll.
Look how all of you tell Elijah is coming.
It was funny if Elijah showed up. I'll be honest.
Thank you, Elijah. We were, so let's continue on page 138. We've now solved the problem. Thank you, Steve, aka Elijah.
Elijah.
Third Hebrew word of the day, shalom, which you probably know already, right? You know? Shalom, wholeness. Let's continue now with the service for taking the Torah out of the ark, and Astor has volunteered. He does this work.
Yes.
I see someone
So where are
else.
you?
I see someone else is John.
Oh, you can't say that.
It's going to be 139, and there is some transliteration going on there.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני ואין כמעשיך מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים וממשלתך בכל הדור אדוני מלך אדוני מלך אדוני אלוהים
Sion, Tivnei Ramot Yerushalayim, Tivnei Ramot Yerushalayim, Ki lecha levanatanu, melech elam v'nisah. Please rise as we open the ark.
Vayikvin Saharon, Vayomer Moshe.
Adonai, v'yafutzu oivecha, v'yanusu mitzrayecha mipanecha, ki l'Tzion tetzei Torah, ki l'Tzion tetzei Torah, u'nevar Adonai min Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amor Yisrael b'kedushato. Page 140 after the first paragraph.
Sorry, I forgot this one. Be'anarachet,
V'lishnei Avisha, Avisha Yadira, Ana Emar Tushbechla, Ve'anarachet, Ve'anarachet, V'lishnei Avisha, Avisha Yadira, Ana Emar Tushbechla, Yehei Rava V'tiftach libi v'oraita, v'tashli mishalim v'libo, v'libanecho amat Yisrael, v'tavu chayim v'lisha.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadol Adonai iti, u'neromem Hashemo yachdav.
Adonai hagedula, v'hagedula, v'hatiferet, v'hanetzel, v'hamon. Ki kol hashamayim haaretz, ki kol hashamayim haaretz. Adonai amam Adonai Eloheinu, v'hishachavu, v'hishachavu, lehar kadsho, lehar kadsho, Hikadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Let's be seated. The Torah reading for this morning can be found in our Chumashim on page 851, starting with verse 14. And remember, we're in Bamidbar, in the desert. Jewish people are still wandering in the desert. We haven't yet come to the land. And so a lot of the stuff in this Torah portion is sort of preparing us to when we go into the land. And how we ought to behave in that time. And how we ought to treat others in the land. And also, what if we mess up? So these are some of the things in there. And also with some guide to keep us from messing up. And we'll talk about that later on.
What's the page in verse?
Page again, it's 851, verse 14. I have an extra book here. Maybe it's asterisk.
Oh, yeah.
Talmud, Talmud, Levi, Bukom, Kohen. Esther, is that your name?
Sarah.
Excuse me?
Sarah.
I'm sorry, I should know that. Sarah bat Pesach,
ראש השנה תורה למשה בקדושת הבת ולביתי במלאכם חיים כוכם היום.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. וכי יגור איתכם גר, או אשר בתוככם לדורותיכם ועשה, ישרח בכוח לאדוני, כאשר תעשו כן יעשה הקהל חוקה אחת לכם ולגר הגר, חוקת עולם לדורותיכם, ככם כגר יהיה לפני אדוני, תורה אחת ומשפט אחד יהיה לכם, ולגר הגר איתכם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah et emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. Very interesting first aliyah. I hope if we follow it, we'll see 3 times it mentions there should be one law for us and for the stranger who lives with us. Not treat the stranger differently in terms of civil law for the country. And that's pretty amazing. We'll talk more about that later.
We're
I
at
just
page,
want to put that.
we're at page 851, verse 17.
Sarah, will you change places with Steve?
Sure.
Yamod Levi, Shalom ben Yitzchak v'Zakai.
Baruch hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam
va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר בוקר בנו מכל העמים, ונותן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, בבואכם אל הארץ אשר אני מביאכם שמה, והיה ואכלכם מלחם הארץ, תרימו תרומה לאדוני.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, בחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. יעמוד שלישי מיכאל בן נוח ורחל לאה.
We're on page 852, verse 20.
Oh, sorry.
Going the wrong way here. Baruch Hu Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bokar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'nosan Lanu Et Torto. Baruch Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. ראשית הריסותיכם חלה תרימו תרומה, כי תרומה קורן כן תרימו אותה. מראשית הריסותיכם תיתנו לאדוני תרומה לדורותיכם, וכי תשקו ולא תעשו את כל המצוות האלה, אשר דיבר אדוני אל משה את כל אשר ציווה אדוני עליכם ביד משה מן היום אשר ציווה אדוני והלאה לדורותיכם.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Noten Torah Emet B'chayei Olam Notan B'Sochenu. Baruch Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
We're on page 852, verse 24.
תעמוד רביעי רחל בת אברהם ושרה. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן. והיה אם העדה נעשתה לשגגה, ועשו כל העדה הר בן בקר אחד לעולם, וריח ניחוח באדוני ומנחתו לרזקו כמשפט ושעיר יזימך לחטאת וחיבר הכהן על כל עדת בני ישראל ונסלח להם כי שגגה היא והם הביאו את קורבנם איש של אדוני וחטאתם לפני אדוני על שגגתם ונסלח לכל עדת בני ישראל ולגר הגר בתוכם כי לכל העם נשגגה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם לך בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן העולם.
Amen.
Amen.
We're on page 853, verse 27.
And let's do a prayer for healing. And I'm pleased to say that I've heard from the family of Max Charovsky that his surgery went very well, and things are looking very good. So I'm still going to include him in his recovery, but there's good news to hear.
Mark Levine.
וישבח אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב שר רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך וירפא את
Eileen Cleaver, Robert Carlin, Deb Austin.
Mark Levine.
Jimmy Eisenstock, Bobby Eisenstock, Eileen Bernstein, and Bobby Levine, and Karen, Joanne Sullivan's sister.
Joanna Gass.
מרדכי בן מנדל ואת כל החולים בקהילה הקדושה זו לקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם להחזיקם ולרפאתם ישלח בהם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף בתוך שאר חולי ישראל שבתים מניזוק ורפואה קרבה לבוא השתה בגלה בזמן קריב ונאמר אמן.
Again, we're on 853, verse 27.
May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah bring blessing and healing to all those who are ill within our congregational family. May they be blessed with a full and complete healing, a healing of spirit and a healing of body, together with all those who are ill among the Jewish people and among the world. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all those who are ill be surrounded by the love of their friends, their loving companions, their families, and their community. And let us say,
Amen.
Tamod Shishi.
Do you want to know what to do? I
She's
can come
not
up and, she's not Jewish, but
Oh, I thought, I asked you said you were.
I didn't know what you said. I'm
Oh,
sorry. No worries.
Would you like to come with her?
Would you like to come up with me? I'm scared. You'll be just fine. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you're welcome.
It's not hard.
It's very not hard. There you go. You're just fine.
Again, page 853, verse 27.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch
Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. ואם נפש אחת תחטא וישגגה, והקריבה אצבע שנתה לחטאת, וכיפר הכהן על הנפש השוגגת בחטאה בשגגה, לפני אדוני לכפר עליו ונסלח לו. האזרח בבני ישראל ולגר הגר בתוכם, תורה אחת יהיה לכם לעושה בשגגה, והנפש אשר תעשה ביד רמה, מן האזרח ומן הגר את אדוני הוא מגדל, ונכרתה הנפש ההיא מקרב עמה, כי דבר אדוני בזה את מצוותיו, הפר תקרא את הנפש ההיא עוונה הבאה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
We're on page 854, verse 32.
And then we're going to stand up here for a little bit longer. Yes.
Tamod Shvi'i Yehudi. Sholem Behenya.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. ויהיו בני ישראל במדבר וימצאו איש מקושש עצים ביום השבת, ויקריבו אותו המוצאים אותו מקושש עצים אל משה ואל אהרון ואל כל העדה, ויניחו אותו במשמר כי לא פורש מה יעשה לו. ויאמר אדוני אל משה מות יומת האיש, רגום אותו באבנים כל העדה מחוץ למחנה, ויוציאו אותו כל העדה אל מחוץ למחנה, וירגמו אותו באבנים וימות כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeshua.
We're on page 854, verse 32. No, actually, I'm sorry. 854, verse 37.
Tamod Maftir, if she's willing. Nitza Bat, a lady.
I think it's Shvi'i,
Excuse me?
You can call me only for maftir.
That is Maftir.
but I think it's
Shvi'i.
Shvi'i now.
Oh, I thought it was, I'm sorry, I skipped one.
You did?
Okay.
Well,
She did, yes, she did. No, Yehudi was Shvi'i.
No, it was she.
You're right, she was.
Yehudi was
No,
Shvi'i,
that's
and
not true.
she has to do the Hati Parashka. actually.
Oh, I know, it screwed up, it was me. Some, Shavi'i and Maftir were supposed to be this section we're just
one.
coming to. Yeah, I think we may have skipped one along the way, Joe.
So where are we now?
So,
Kohen, the
so
Kohen,
if you could call it the second Shavi'i.
Aster, we had Aster, we had Steve,
You Rosh Shvi, and then
we
you
had
have
Michael,
the
we had, Aster's friend,
You remember better than I. Ask from Pepperwood.
No, that's
yeah, and then Rachel,
Rachel.
and then Yehudi, that's 7.
Who's on first?
We had 7.
We
If I
did.
do it again,
I was 7.
I go over it again. The first
First
was
was-
Aster,
Okay.
the second was,
Esther is
Steve,
the
the
Kohen.
third
Third was
was, Michael,
Michael, yeah.
the fourth,
Rachel,
was Rachel,
yeah.
the fifth was Piper,
Well,
the then go back to the 6th was Yuli, yeah.
okay.
Who did I leave out? Nobody, okay. Alright, Yehudi, could you stand here for a moment and Nabai
And call it Joe.
and
Again, we're at page 854,
sorry about that.
Verse-
I had it all figured out.
37.
I heard you do that, see guys.
So you could do this Talmud.
Oh, yes, Talmud, what are we, Shishin?
Shavi'i.
Shavi'i. Yehudi, say
Yehudi, Bat,
Ruvain,
Ruvain,
Vabluma.
Babluma, Shvi'i.
And this one should sound familiar, by the way.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'martach alehem ve'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei b'ydeihem l'dorotan v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf b'til techelet v'haya lachem tzitzit uritem oto וזכרתם את כל מצוות עשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen.
Hatzikah.
We are now again on page 854, verse 37.
But before that, we're on page 146.
Hatzikah.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Who is not Ari, V'yimaru Amen.
Yeshmei Rabba Levarach,
Le'olam le'olam
Le'amaya,
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudashah, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata,
Tushkechata v'nechemata, v'hanira v'yoma,
v'yimaru.
Amen.
854, verse 37.
Talmud, Machtir. Nitabat Menachem Ubatya Halevi.
No, you have to start.
No, Judy's
Judy
coming.
went down, so.
She's coming back.
ויפו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם. אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen.
854, verse 37.
Amen. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר ובני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף תכלת והיה לכם בציצית וראיתם זכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זורמים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Should I make for how we should do it?
That's exactly. And we're going to make for her Shechayanu. As you can see, Judy has read Torah many times, but this is the first time she's read Torah here with no warning whatsoever. So this is the Shechayanu moment, I think. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechayanu v'kiyimanu v'hidyanu b'zman hazeh.
We don't have any candy to throw.
This way.
It's so good.
Yamod Harba David.
He doesn't have father and mother name.
He doesn't know his father and mother's name.
Very nice.
Moving along. I just like this.
Yeah. Well, actually, Yamod Dalil Shalom. Okay.
Ezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe L'fnei Yisrael Al Pi Adonai B'yad Moshe Torah Ora Torah Ora Hallelujah Torah Ora Torah
Torah, 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 Torah. Hallelujah.
Actually, I'm going to take that right from you. And let's remain standing as we turn to page 150. What are we doing on page 150? We got a new month coming up. So we're going to announce it formally. Page 150, 150. Let's start by reading the first paragraph together in English. May it be your will, Adonai, our God, and God of our ancestors, to reawaken in us joy and blessing in the month ahead. Grant us a long life, a peaceful life with goodness and blessing, sustenance and physical vitality, a life of reverence and piety, a life free from shame and reproach, a life of abundance and honor, a reverent life guided by the love of Torah, a life in which our worthy aspirations will be fulfilled. Amen. מי שעשה ניסים לאבותינו ואמותינו וגאל אותם מעבדות לחירות, הוא יגאל אותנו בקרוב, ויקבץ נידחינו מארבע כנפות הארץ, חברים כל ישראל ונאמר אמן. ראש חודש תמוז יהיה ביום רביעי וביום חמישי הבאים עלינו ועל כל ישראל לטובה. יחדשהו הקדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ולשלום לששון ולשמחה לישועה ולנחמה ונאמר אמן. Let's be seated now as we invite Esther to come back.
Yeah.
Read us in the Ashrei, page 151.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, od yehalelucha selah.
Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elokav.
Tehillah leDavid, aromimcha Elohai hamelech, ve'avachav shimcha le'olam va'ed.
B'chol yom havachecha, v'ashimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai u'mehulal me'od, u'ligdulato ein cheker.
Dor v'dor yisharach ma'asecha, v'gvulotecha yagidu.
Hadar kavod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha.
Tzutzotecha yomeru, u'gvulata asafrecha.
Zecher avtucha yabiu, v'tzidkatecha yiranenu.
Yivrachum Adonai, erech apayim u'gal chesed.
Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yirakucha.
Kavod malchutecha yomeru, u'gvurotecha yidaberu.
B'nei ha'adam gevuratav, u'kvod ha'adam malchuto.
Malchutecha malchut kol amim, u'memshotecha b'chol dor v'ador.
Sofecha Adonai l'chol ha'nafli, v'sofecha l'chol ha'chufim.
Einei kol elecha yisaberu, ve'ata noten lahem et achlam be'ito.
Poroteach et yadecha, u'mastiach l'chol chai rasason.
Tzadik Adonai b'chol derachav, v'chasid b'chol ma'asav.
Karov Adonai l'chol torav, l'chol asher yikrahu be'emet.
Retzon yireyav yaseh, ve'et shavatam yishma v'yoshim.
Shomer Adonai kol harav, et kol hashayim yashmin.
Tehillat Adonai yidaber pi, yivarech kol basar shem kodsho elam va'ed. Va'anachnu nivarech yam, ve'ata b'yad olam. Hallelujah.
let's stand as we open the ark and prepare to return the Torah to the ark.
Yehallelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado.
Odo
haaretz v'shamayim, vayared kerem li'amo, tehillah b'chol kasiyam, livnei Yisrael am k'rodlo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Mizmor leDavid, Havu Adonai b'nei Havu Adonai kavod va'od, Havu Adonai v'kol shemo, Yishtacharu Adonai v'adas kodesh. Tov Adonai Elohim Kavod Terim, Adonai Elohim Rabim. Kol Adonai Kavod, Kol Adonai Ha'azim, Vaishaber Adonai Yadazeh Ha'vanon, Vayakidem K'mo Egel, Levanon v'Sir Yom Kimon ben Ramim. Kol Adonai Chotzecha Kodesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Kol Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechol Elayavon. V'yechesav v'yarot v'ufkichlov kelo merkavot. Adonai Lamabul Yashem v'yeshem Adonai melech. Adonai Oseh Amo Yitzeh, Adonai Yevamalech et Amo B'Shalom. Uvnecha Yomar. Ki lekach tov natati lachem, Torati al tazovu. Esra'ili le'achazina b'toneha merusha derafeha dakei noam v'chol netivoteha Shalom, Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha menashua, Kadesh, Kadesh Yameinu, Kadesh Yameinu,
Be seated. So let's take a look at the most familiar part of the Torah portion today, which is on page 854, starting with verse 37. And would someone read that to us in English?
The Lord said to Moses as follows: Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all of the commandments of the Lord and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes into your lustful urge. Thus you shall be reminded to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I, the Lord, am your God, who brought you out of the land, to be your God. I, the Lord, your God.
Okay, so where else do we know this section from?
Everyday prayer.
Everyday prayer. Where exactly in the everyday prayer?
Oh, in the middle.
Ah,
In the middle.
ah,
And the Shema.
and the Shema. And the Shema. The Shema, if we leave our Chumashim open and we go back to our prayer books for a second, to page 113 at the top, we see exactly the same thing. So, question one, which came first? Did it come first in our prayer book or did it come first in the Torah? Yeah, it came first in the Torah, for sure. But some parts from the Torah got put in our prayer books. This is one of them. Okay? And this is when in the service, remember this morning we talked about how first there were stage directions to gather the tzitzit by our Talmud, and that was when we came to this. Every time we say the word tzitzit, the tradition is to actually kiss the four tzitzit, the four corners of the thing, of our Talmud. So there in the Shema corpus of our prayer book, page 112 and 113, there are actually several instructions of what we should do on a very daily kind of basis. The first instructions are on page 112. First, there's an instruction that's not about an action, but more about an emotion. That we should love God with all our heart, soul, and might. Right? See it on page 112? And then, how do we, so, that's very nice. Okay, I should love God. Very nice. How do we put that into practice? Well, the Torah and the Siddur, which took from the Torah, gives us very concrete ways of doing it. We're supposed to put reminders all over the place to remind us to love God. So it says, these words which I command you about loving God, you should really take them to heart, right? Teach them to your children. So that's the first thing. Pass them on to the next generation. And what are the reminders? Recite them at home and away night and day. We're supposed to recite the Shema night and day. That's one of the reminders about loving God, right? What's another reminder? Bind them as a sign upon your hand and frontlets between, and reminder about your eyes. What's that? Tefillin. Tefillin.
And what's tefillin for those of us who don't know?
Well, the English word doesn't have much use. Phylacteries. It's those leather straps that we wrap around our arms, and it's got little boxes, and in the boxes are these very words that we just read. And where else, without looking, are we supposed to put these words? Mezuzah, the doorposts of our house and on our gates. These very words about loving God are supposed to be put there. So, very concrete reminders about how to be a loving person, to love the force that brought us into life. Okay? So the positive. Now, let's go back to 113, or where we were in our Chumash. And here's another reminder. The reminder of the tzitzit, which, by the way, back in the day, were not only worn in prayer. They were worn all day long. And some traditionally observant folks wear what's called a talit katan. And it's just like a four-cornered garment, because we're supposed to put tzitzit in the corners of our garments. It's the four-cornered garment with a hole in the middle. You put your head through the hole and the tzitzit hang out. And I don't know why some of them stick the tzitzit in, because that doesn't fulfill the commandment. We're supposed to see them, or itamotam. So there are folks who wear a four-cornered garment. If you look on the fourth line, So just like we're supposed to see the mezuzah, we're supposed to have the phylacteries, etc. Look upon these tzitzit, and you will be reminded of all the mitzvot of Adonai to fulfill it. So here's one more reminder. But this one's got an extra thing. And not be seduced by your heart nor led astray by your eyes. So it's not only a reminder to love God and do the positive stuff, but this is a way to remind us not to do some of the negative stuff. Okay? And this is straight out of the Torah from when we're in the desert, we're about to go in the land, and we're to be reminded of how we're to behave. Now the next part is X-rated. And maybe we should turn off the, no, but I'm not kidding about it being X-rated. But it's straight from the Talmud, so I didn't make this up. It comes from Jewish holy sources. All right? So I'm going to read this one, and while I'm reading it, think about perhaps what reminders do we have in our own lives for how to keep us from going astray. All right, that's the bottom line of this. But this is a very good book called Biblical Literacy by Joseph Telushkin. And he's a legitimate scholar.
As opposed to still legitimate scholars.
Yes. Well, because after you hear this, you may wonder. So he says, a major goal of these fringes, of these tzitzit, is to curb lustful urges, is reflected in a Talmudic story about a yeshiva student who is particularly scrupulous about wearing tzitzit. Okay, so this is a yeshiva student who wore tzitzit. The young man hears, I'm not making this up, the young man hears of an exceptionally beautiful and expensive harlot in a far-off land. He sends the payment required to sleep with her, then journeys to meet the woman. When he sees her, he is overwhelmed by her beauty. When he starts to undress, the fringes fly up in the air and slap him across the face. Realizing the incongruity of his going to a prostitute, the young man sits down on the floor in the style of a mourner. We're not done. The prostitute comes down from her bed, sits opposite him, and asks him as to the fault he has seen in her that has caused him to turn away. The young man assures her that he finds her beautiful, but explains to her about tzitzit. Amazed and impressed by the power of this ritual of tzitzit to overcome sexual lust, the prostitute follows the young man back to Jerusalem, where she converts to Judaism and marries him. I kid you not, this is from the Babylonian Talmud, Menachot 44a. Don't believe me? Look it up. What a story, eh?
Yeah.
I'm glad Brielle was there. I was worried about that. Okay, this is one illustration of how tzitzit, in this one person's life, helped move him away from lust. And by the way, if we look at the Hebrew, it really fits, because it says, "V'lo taturu acharei levavchem ve'acharei nechem asher atem zonim achareihem." And you should not go astray after your heart and your eyes, asher atem zonim achareihem. The word zonim is related to zonah, which is a harlot. So it really is, after, whoring, you might say, seriously, is probably a better translation than not be seduced by your heart. This is, again, the Hebrew is pretty clear about it. At any rate, so but let's use just how we go astray, period, in whatever ways we might. Is there any things that help keep us on the path? And I'm not asking people to confess sins here, but are there any Jewish reminders, other reminders that maybe sometime in your life that just help you? Whatever.
I find wearing a kippah in general, like there are some days where I'm like, maybe I'll cover my hair today. And I do, and I find myself actually being a lot more mindful and where I more reliably, say the blessing before I eat or, be Birkat Hamazon. And so I find that like, it's sort of like, once you do something small, it's easier and sort of more already in your mind to do the other parts.
I think a wedding band, regardless of religion, is a reminder.
Yeah, nice. And actually someone talked about the tzitzit as being sort of the Jewish way of, remember putting a string around our finger to remind us we had something to do today? So also like putting a band around our finger to remind us of an important relationship in our lives. Thank you.
I think when I focus on healing and making it a better community, a better world, I think less about things of the dog.
Nice. Thank you for focusing on the positive. Thank you. Any other ways that we sometimes just help keep us in the direction we want to go in and away from the direction maybe we don't want to go? I find for me the brachot, the blessings. We're supposed to, in theory, say 100 blessings a day. There are blessings for all kinds of things in Jewish life. I don't. But there are some I do pretty regularly. One of which is the motzi before eating. Not only in the synagogue, not only in whatever, but usually I say the motzi before eating a meal. And it's something we've done. I know I told the story to the synagogue before, but I'm sure everyone remembers every word I say. So just in case we go, I'll say this again. I didn't used to say the motzi. I mean, I knew it from Hebrew school. They taught us in Hebrew school that you say this blessing that thanks God for bringing forth bread from the earth. So I knew it, but we didn't do it. We didn't do it at home except on Shabbat. But one day Shoshana and I were having dinner with friends. Just normal friends, not in the Jewish, but Jewish friends in this case. And before we started the meal, they said, it's our custom to say the motzi before the meal. Is that okay? We said, sure, it's okay. And we joined in saying the motzi. And from that moment on, it occurred to me that normal people could say the motzi in their normal real lives. You don't have to be a rabbi, you don't have to be a whatever. And it set a beautiful tone for the meal. It set a moment of thankfulness and gratitude. And just made the meal, it lifted up the meal a little bit. So that was the beginning. I remember distinctly that I started saying the motzi. At any rate, so for me, one of the things that helps me try to live a life that I think Judaism helps me to live is just saying the motzi before the meal. Or there are also some other blessings that can be really nice. Like there are blessings, for example, on seeing a rainbow. Now, all of us probably, I'm guessing, if we see a rainbow, oh wow, there's a rainbow. I mean, already there's wonder in that. But there's also a traditional, and that's fine. In addition, there's a traditional blessing said on seeing a rainbow, which reminds us that God made a covenant with Noah never to destroy the earth again, etc. And so I find that those blessings, if I remember them and say them at those moments, really are the kinds of things that not only keep me deviating from things I shouldn't do, but also affirm the positive things. Yes?
There's actually a blessing for a rainbow.
Yes.
Do you know it?
The full one, which I have to, is about a guy who remembers God's covenant and who made the covenant with Noah. Because in the story, right, God took God's bow and put it in the heavens. So instead of the bow being something to hurt people, the bow became a colorful rainbow that God said, I will never destroy the earth again. And if I don't remember all the details, there's a general blessing that ends with Shekach alo ba'olomo. So it is in God's world. So that's a good catch-all for nice, wonderful things in nature, if we forget all the details. details of the other. Okay. All right, anyone else want to add anything to this? Okay, so I don't know if this has encouraged anyone to read the Talmud anymore.
I'd like to read that particular book.
The book is excellent. All right, come take a look at it afterwards if you want. It's called Biblical Literacy, and he takes the highlights of many of the Torah portions, not of all of them, and it's very good. It's put in ways we can understand.
I don't think you'll find this directly. No, I gotta get. Even I love it.
And another one, by the way, that's very good is a Torah commentary for our time. Okay. Let's continue on page 182. En Eloheinu, en Kadonenu, en Kemalkeinu, en Kemoshienu, Eloheinu, Kadonenu, Kemalkeinu, Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Lemalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Arneinu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shehitiru, Avoteinu lefanecha et ketoret hasamim en Eloheinu en Kadonenu en Kemalkeinu en Kemoshienu. Page 183. Aleinu leshabeach Adon hakol Take Gidula Miotze Reshi Shelo Asanu Kidoye Haratzot Velo Samanu Kimishvechot Adama Shelo Samkel Keinu Kahem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Vanachnu Korim Unishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlavim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Nefesh Shamayim Le'osed Haaretz U'moshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Lima'am U'shinatu Zo V'kofei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Eino Emet Malkeinu Efesu Ato Karatu B'Torato V'Adatayom V'Hashemota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim Hashamayim Bimara V'Haaretz V'Haaretz Tu b'tortecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'nemar Hayla Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz Hayom This week we recall Harold David Fox, James Samuel Hershon, Sadie Rothschild, Stanley G. Weiss, Milton Bernstein, Louis Weiner, Sidney Radner, Solomon Harmetz, and Fanny Weiss. Mourners Kaddish, page 184. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shnei Rabba, V'alma Dibra Chirutei, V'amliv Malchutei, V'chayechon v'yomechon, V'chayei B'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'zman Kariv V'hibru Amen. Yehei Shnei Rabba Mevarach V'alam Lamei Amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei kusha brichu ve'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiran v'alma v'hibru amen. Yehei shama rabba min shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Joan, do you have any announcements for us today? I guess the answer is yes.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody. I'm very glad that we had enough people for a minyan, so a special Shabbat Shalom to Steve. And also to everyone who is maybe listening or watching at home. We wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat and a good weekend. We have some interesting things coming up this week. Next week from today at our next Shabbat, which will also be 4th of July weekend, there will not be an official service leader. Therefore, we will be leading the service. This will be a service made up completely of our congregants, doing whatever part of the service they feel comfortable doing in a very friendly crowd. And it can be in either Hebrew or English. So if you are interested in taking any part of next week's service, please let me know. We have very little idea of how many people will be here or who will be here. But whoever's here, we will have a blast. And we will have a celebratory Kiddush for 4th of July. So I welcome everyone. And that includes the people at home, if they're listening. So, I guess that's the biggest thing for now. Just a couple of dates to hang on to. August 18th will be our picnic this year, and that's going to be in East Hampton. And I do want to put out special thank yous. Special thank you to Steve for God-buying. Appreciate that very much. A special thank you to everybody who had a part in the service. Really special thank you to Aster. It's so nice to see you, and to see you leading the service that way was really a joy for us. So thank you, and also to Saul for a wonderful service and a good discussion of Torah. It's very good. And for those of you who have not met Judy officially, I think everybody sort of has, but we welcome her to maybe this is your first official service as a member. So we are very glad that you made this decision, and we welcome you. And please pass that on to Robert as well. Okay.
Can we hear about the door?
Excuse me, the door?
No, we can. Whoop.
What door?
The entrance door.
And the door downstairs is in some way temporary, but it'll be in the next 2 weeks. The new doors will be being installed. This was the first. And we have a new set of keys, which I hope are going to be the permanent keys. I'm trying to clarify that with the door people. So, but we do have, keys, for now. More important in a way than the door is before you go downstairs, step into the big sanctuary and step into the hallway outside where we call it the funeral hallway, the coffin, the little foyer. Every one of those windows has been cleaned, and some of them are beginning to get the protective coating that's going to go over them.
When you drive by, it's blue.
The coating? No, the blue was a temporary. The blue is a temporary covering where they've taken out glass and they're putting it back. They've taken some of the stained glass, taken it back to the factory, redid it, and it'll be reinstalled. So they're hoping they'll be finished by Monday. If the weather cooperates, they will. If not, it'll be another couple of days. But the earlier this week, I had the opportunity to look at two windows next to each other, one that had not been cleaned yet and one that had. And the difference was really dramatic. And when the covering goes on, he's told me that it'll be even more so. The covering also enhances the color that comes through.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Lisa, this is for you because you always like a new melody or different melody to Adon Olam. So we haven't sung this one in a long, long time. Page 187. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yisir Nivra V'ein Hasa V'cherzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Acharei Kichot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Vehu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'ein Nasa V'cherzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Vehu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'ein Nasa V'cherzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh B'tifara Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Yeh B'tifara Vehu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Le'hamshilo Le'hachbira B'li Reishit B'li Tachlit V'lo ha'oz V'ha'mishra V'hu Eli V'chai Goli V'tzur Chevli V'etzara V'hu Nisi Umanos Li Minat Kosi B'yom Ekra Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzim nidla le'eit nasa v'chetzo kol asay melech shemo nikra acharei kifot hakol levado yimloch nolam ve'hu hayam ve'hu hoveh ve'hu yiyeh v'tifara Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzim nidla le'eit nasa v'chetzo kol Shimon Nikra V'Yacharei Kiflot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nola Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh V'Tifara Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh V'Tifara Ve'yado Af Kivruchi Ve'eti Sham Ve'Adira V'imruchi Geviati Adonai li Belo Ira Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat.